don't want to good. We don't want to spend too much time where we lose kind of the focus and we don't get to everyone. Or worse, everybody starts leaving and they don't hear what everybody else has to offer because that's where a lot of the magic happens when you guys intersect and interact. All right. I am going to call a meeting to attention. It's 6:34 p.m. and I see Ebony here somewhere. And I'm the host now. Fabulous. Thank you, CB9. Let's see. Generation Citizen. Is Ebony here? I thought I
She's at
saw
the
her.
top of the screen. She's there. I just saw she just raised her hand.
Yeah, I am
All right.
here.
Hi, Ebony. I'd love for you to start your presentation, keeping in mind a little bit of a time restraint. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, thank you. I'll
Okay.
do that now.
Allow me. Absolutely. Allow me one moment. All right. I'm going to make you co-host, and now
Oh,
you
I don't
should
think
be
you have
able.
to. I can share without you doing that. I have to,
Usually,
for some
we have to
reason.
do
Yeah.
co-host. Yeah. Okay. No worries. All good. Okay. Yes. Please. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, CB9. I am a CB10, so I'm just a neighbor. Thank you guys so much for your time. I'm really grateful to be here. I'm Ebony Simpson. I am the Regional Executive Director for Mid-Atlantic Generation Citizen. We're a national organization, and the Mid-Atlantic includes New York, which is our biggest footprint, primarily New York City, as well as upstate, and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So Generation Citizen, like I mentioned, we're a national organization. Our mission is to um, empower young people to not only know their power and their voice, but to utilize it to ensure that our democracy is both equitable and just and inclusive, and that young people are the blueprint and the architects of making that happen. So we work with middle and high schools to implement our community-based, student-led, action-focused, civics-based curriculum. And like I mentioned, we're a national organization throughout the nation. You can see here some of the representation. We have had the honor of serving and supporting over 30,000 middle and high school students and across 50 communities in the country. We really focus on low-income communities of color, rural communities, civic deserts, communities that generally are lacking the infrastructure or the resources to implement civics education, particularly with defunding, it becomes less of a priority. And so we really seek to fill that gap. And our curriculum is very, very intentional and focused on our young people being the leaders in their classroom and really modeling the democratic process. They go through iterations of lessons in which they kind of zero in on focus issues directly in their community. And they're given the tools to do research, understanding policy, governmental structure, and how to navigate and identify the root causes of their issues. And then they develop action plans and interview folks and stakeholders in their communities, and then they're able to implement those programs. And we have a biannual big presentation where they're able to present their initiatives and their projects to stakeholders and elected officials. So we really take it soups and nuts, and they're the leaders. The teachers are really just the facilitators in the process, and we as an organization support them through that. So MCB9, we've had the privilege of being funded by West Harlem Development Corporation, and they really help us zero in on the community here and to support the schools and educators. We work with Urban Assembly, Future Leaders, KIP Infinity, and KIP Star, and just recently signed on with A. Philip Randolph. We're super excited to partner with them in the district and excited to continue to build in this community, my community. So just kind of to speak some of the key partnerships I mentioned, we've been working with Urban Assembly for over 5 years, working with 2 teachers in their middle school. And we've been working with KIP for about 3 years. And the students have been incredible. They've met with elected officials and presented their projects at our Civics Day. So just some examples of them taking action, presenting their projects, and actually getting awarded for the work that they do. You can see here one of our students, Oscar, got an award at our Civics Day a couple of years ago. Some more work from Kip Infinity. And just to share a little bit about some of the issues that our young people focus on over the last couple of years, really a range of issues directly addressed dealing with their local school or their community or the larger city. They really zero in. Our focus is really hyper local, and so where tangible change in democracy really lives. And so ranging from health to public safety to economics, environment, justice and equity. So you can see here some of those items. And I'll wrap there. Again, my name is Ebony Simpson. Here's my contact information as well as contact information from our team. And you can find us at generationscitizen.org. And I'll stop there and pause for any questions.
Oh, you must have had a timer of your own. That was so good. That was my
Want to be
timer didn't even
respectful.
going off. That was really quick. Oh, I do have questions, but I'd like to turn it over to the floor first to see does anyone else have questions? Because I definitely have a thought that's probably more, it's not a factual question, it's more of a thought question. Does anyone have questions for Ebony and Generation Citizen? And by the way, I can't see everyone at one time. I'm on my phone, so if you need to unmute and kind of say, hey, please do. Okay, I apologize if I don't see you.
Lydia has her hand up, so if you want
Okay.
Lydia, you know the deal. Go
Well,
for
you
it.
know, I want to say nothing could be more important right now than what we're going through. And to do it safely, quite frankly, because we have an administration that has declared war not only on everybody else in the world, but on its own people. And of course, I always like to bring up, because when I was young, one of my heroes was Shirley Chisholm, who may be somebody that you acquaint your people with in this group. But she was, in fact, they're going to be doing something, right, Shanika, about Shirley Chisholm. They're going to be giving her a monument or something.
I think it's gonna be maybe a celebration. I don't have all the details, but I just saw her name in some emails. I haven't looked at them yet. I wish I had it now that you brought it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
a woman.
What a
Lydia,
wonderful, powerful woman.
my
Yes.
one of my biggest heroes.
Yes.
Lydia,
Yes.
have you guys seen the documentary Unbought and Unbossed?
Oh, that's her phrase.
Huh?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Is
Good.
that on Netflix or something? What's
I don't know. It's a friend of mine did it many years ago. Her name is Shala Lynch. I don't know where it's playing, but you can
Oh,
Google it.
yeah.
But she did it on her many years ago. Unbought and Unbossed.
Okay, I'll look into that. I just remember that phrase.
Yeah, that was her
And
phrase.
she
Yeah,
meant
yeah,
it too.
yeah. That was her phrase.
Okay. Well, my question was, Lydia, did you finish what you wanted to say? I don't want to jump in.
No, fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
I
you,
just
Lydia.
wanted to ask, okay, no problem. Um, I guess what I'm wondering is how are you keeping them, assuming you have to, how are you keeping them engaged? Because I think the consensus is that obviously laws mean nothing and can be changed whenever someone in charge feels like changing them at a whim and to suit their own needs. And so I feel that a lot of the young people that I've been talking to are not feeling encouraged. They're feeling discouraged and that the system that's been failing them for so long is also just now failing everyone else. And so it's very difficult, I think, for some of the young people to feel like they can make any changes. So if you're coming across that, how are you dealing with it? What tools are you using? Tell me too, because I need to know.
Yeah, I think thank you for that question. I think it's unavoidable at this point, and honestly, like completely relatable because I think we all
That's the
can
problem.
relate to that. I think the whole point of what we do is, and why we do it in the classroom, is that we can ensure that they have the capacity to lead on their own, right? To use their
Mhm.
power. This is not a teacher teaching how government works, how civics works. It's them learning amongst themselves, democratically modeling decision making, and literally investigating how the system works and how they can intervene. And I think it's why we focus so much on the local level, because I think that is obviously where we live and breathe and most tangible, and where they have the opportunity to connect directly with the decision makers in their communities. It's been incredible to see them able to, draft bills and, testify at city council or the state house, and really be the change that they want to see. So I think that's the way. And I think with this being the 250th anniversary of this country, we've really zeroed in on their radical imagination of what the future of this country should look like, representing them and their needs and their hopes for their future. So I think by putting the power in their hands, that's what we can do. And we don't want them to be disengaged when they become voting age. That's the whole point of why we're doing it, right? Is that they know their
Right.
power and that they stay engaged and they're activated. I know that was my experience as a young person, having
Me
those
too,
kind of learnings. And so I think, oh, what's great. Look at you all. Y'all are serving your community in the most hyper local way. And I think that's always the goal for us.
That's good. That's really good. Good. And I need to remind her too. I had to tell myself there was a time when laws were not made to suit us, and we changed
Mhm.
that. And
Exactly.
with help and with partnership and teamwork, et cetera, et cetera. But we did make some changes as a people. And so that means that we can make changes in the future. So gotta stay, fortified. All right. Thank
Yes.
you, Ebony.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ebony, I know I see you put your email in the chat, and if anyone wants to connect with Ebony, please reach out to her in the chat, and let's move on. I
There were a
Something
couple of more hand
right
raises.
there.
I don't know if you have
oh,
time,
I
but just
didn't
want
see
to
them.
acknowledge that.
And you know
Any
what's so crazy? I just looked in the participation. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, I'm looking at it wrong. Deirdre and Lillian.
Okay.
So yes, go.
Hi.
Who's that?
First, thank
Hi.
you, Tamika. Thank you for hosting. Thank you,
Hi.
Emily. And I think my questions I had, you kind of touched on all of them. I just wanted to ask Ebony, thank you for centering civic engagement among our young people. Is there any particular project that they may be working on, right? Any civic project that we can identify, like the real needs and their real lived experiences that they're working on within the Harlem community, or is it just their school project and they get an opportunity to help shape, whatever projects that they may be working on? Is there anything happening? I heard you talk about legislature or drafting policies, but is there anything that you can say that that they're actually working on within our
Yeah.
community that you know of?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Yeah. So the schools that we're working with directly in this community, these are projects and initiatives that they don't stay in the classroom. The goal is for them to get to implementation. So, for example, KIP has focused on how do we create universal after school for young people so that they're safe, right? And so that's a direct ask that they're making to the council member. And our role, because we are nonpartisan, we don't directly advocate for the exact issues. We give them the reins to do that. But this raises a really thoughtful question around how we can present those needs and those requests and their civic projects to this body, and how they can use this forum to push forward their efforts. So perhaps in the future, we can make some space for them to present, if that makes sense to this committee. I'd love to see if that's a possibility for the future, if it makes sense for this body.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely. All right. Lillian, did you still have a question?
Yeah, I do. It's really quick.
Hi,
Ebony,
no
I
worries.
wanted to ask you, I'm executive director of Artistic Dreams International, and one of our base pillars that we work with, also with youth in middle school and high school, is civic engagement. And what we do in civic engagement is, since we're artists, we do murals, right, inside communities. So I'm just wondering if there's any synergy here, anything that you see that collaboration could be happening. I know you're working in the political realm; it's very different. So I'm just asking if the arts have have a place there for a potential conversation.
So absolutely not very different. Art is political. So trust me, I'm with you and I'm grateful for the work you do. It has been a big pillar of how I do my work too, beyond this organization. So I would love to chat about how we can incorporate that into our partnerships with our schools and with the work we're doing kind of advocacy wise and you know, with our young people directly, and with our organization. So if you want to shoot me an email, I'd love to stay connected and maybe we can have a conversation about how we can connect the thread and get young people, the young people that you're working with, you know, to support and the young people we're working with and create some beautiful work together that is rooted in their power, especially, again, this is 250th of the US. So it'd be so cool to think about some art activism that we can cultivate together. We're planning a big event at Lincoln Center for July that's really culminating this kind of future imagining, and maybe we could work together in that capacity.
That sounds wonderful. I will reach out to you. Thank you, Ebony.
Awesome, thank you. Um, and
And
Shanice, is
these
there
are
anything?
the conversations that I was referring to earlier. So that's fantastic. Lillian, congratulations. Proud of you for even thinking about that. Very nice. All right. By the way, I just want to say, Tag Youth, I see you in the comments. I see you in the chat. Hi, Tag Youth. Thank you for joining us. So I just want to acknowledge you guys because you're like really representing, and that's awesome. So just wanted to say hi. Connor, I know you're here.
Yes,
Yes, I
hello.
see you. Hi, Connor. Would you like me to give you co-host
I
position
think I can
permission?
share. Can you see? Okay, great.
Yeah, okay,
Okay,
fantastic. Go
cool.
for it.
And so I'm Connor Burnett. I'm joined by Christian Pappas from Liberty Leads. We always like to just pop in and kind of give everybody an update on what we're doing. I am a yapper, so I'll keep like the core discussion of like the core programming of Liberty Leads brief, and then we'll just kind of talk about the newer stuff. So Liberty Leads is an out of school time program headquartered at Bank Street. We are like housed at Bank Street, but we're not like financially linked to Bank Street. We're kind of our own thing. The programming is Monday through Friday and Saturdays, and then all throughout the summer. It takes a variety of formats. It's at its original core, it was like classes and supplemental classes to kind of focus on the academic. But I think, as we all know, as time went on, we were like, oh, as if basic needs aren't being met, then obviously children can't succeed academically. So gradually, we started to like build out all of these other supports, including there's a lot of translation services because a lot of Liberty Leads students, English is the language spoken at home. There is crisis intervention that's grown kind of, I think, pretty precipitously since COVID. There's a lot of translation. There's SNAP and TANF supports we provide. And then more recently, we've always done this, but more recently we've kind of codified um, the college support process, be it we run college tours every year that a lot of times students end up going to those colleges, which is really interesting. But also just like nuts and bolts, like, hey, the FAFSA's due. Do you need help? And these kind of supports come in small group, or we have a series of middle and high school advisors who will meet one-on-one or in small group with these students to kind of shepherd them across the finish line. And so some of that's like really formal work, but also some of it is just really informal work because a lot of our students come to us at the beginning at fifth grade and they're recommended through their school or through a lot of times it's through siblings or other family members. So even just kind of off rip, we usually know who a lot of these students are. And the bulk of the students, like I don't have the number in front of me, but like 90 plus, like stay with us all the way. So we kind of are able to track their progress both like in a formal way, but also just like, hey, Christian, we see you all the time. We know you want to go to Syracuse. What's the deal with that? And like um, we're able to kind of facilitate it in that way. So that's kind of just the basis of what Liberty Leads does. We like to use this time to catch people up on new stuff that's going on. Because as we see the kids' needs change, and honestly, as a fundraiser, truly too, like as we see where we can get support like grows and changes, we start to interrogate like, okay, what can we do? What exists? What can we kind of spin this into? What are the students interested in? That we can kind of create new exciting avenues to like support them and have them grow. So a cool thing that's happened over this past school year into the beginning last school year, going over into the summer, and then continuing into the school year, was we partnered with Con Edison to do an environmental science program that grows into during the school year. It's a traditional environmental science class, and over the summer the class kind of expands into being more college and career focused, in specifically in terms of like tangible energy and clean energy related field. So during the school year, the students take an environmental science kind of green energy based class, just kind of like the nuts and bolts science of it all. And it gradually expands into building their over the summer they do more experiential stuff like building their own solar panels and stuff like that. There's a series of field trips they go on to like clean energy sites. There's a job and career panel where a bunch of Con Edison folks come over and talk about what things, how they could participate either on a local or, eventually in career scale to like kind of mitigate and curb climate stuff. And, in talking about it now, like with this bitter cold and, the rise of AI and like boiling the oceans and such, like it inadvertently has become an extremely prescient and exciting class that kids are very super duper engaged with. So that's a really new and exciting thing going on with Liberty Leads. And then Christian, do you want to talk about the kind of alumni network we're building out?
Yeah, absolutely. So just wanted to share a little bit about our new alumni support model. So this is a more sort of like structured, high touch guidance that we're providing for students in their first and second years of college, where we recognize that they're navigating the hardest and most difficult parts of that sort of transition period. So this is kind of like a more robust kind of like formalizing of that type of service for our alums. And so one of the features of that type of programming is one-on-one advising, like regular check-ins, like direct support, connecting students to campus resources like financial aid, tutoring, counseling, academic advising. And one of the other big pieces of this initiative is the hiring of a part-time alumni advisor. And this is a new role that is focused on helping students stay on track academically and personally, helping a lot of our students build some of those core success skills, including like time management, like setting goals, studying, like self-advocacy, helping to identify some of those early warning signs before challenges become more of those different barriers to persistence.
And a lot of that stuff would happen ad hoc. Like it's just an organic outgrowth of like, oh, we know these students and we see them around, and a lot of students come and volunteer over the summers in some capacity. So just like keeping in touch with these people as they enter college, it's like, oh, this was already there, and we were already kind of doing it anecdotally, and so just kind of further pursuing organic growth. Sorry, Christian, you can keep discussing.
Yeah, no worries. And so I think kind of like building into that is like a more sort of like an engine for building out that program, like career pathways, like formalizing like an alumni board, these really sort of like structured avenues that really sort of like help to kind of like provide like a more like thorough, robust types of services for some of our alums that are graduating from Liberty Leads.
All right,
Yes.
guys.
So that's
Sorry
it.
to interrupt you, but yeah, we're hitting our 6 minutes.
Great. Okay, good. I told you we were yappers. I gave you fair warning.
No problem.
Well, I was at
no
the
problem.
end, so you got me. So that was it. That's all I had.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't want to cut you off. If you want to just wrap it up or anything else you want to add?
No, that was perfect. We
No?
will
Okay.
we'll put our emails and stuff in the chat. So if you could, if you want to collaborate, if you could think of any cool stuff we could partner on, we are like totally open to that.
I already have a request for you. Looks like in the chat from Behind the Book. So please, Christian, Connor, check that out if you can. Or maybe it's for Behind the Book. Okay. Oh no, but Lily also wants email. So you guys will see in the chat. Forgive me. It's a lot of chats, and then I have personal chats too. Forgive me. All right. I have a question about the alumni program, but first, does anyone have questions? Deirdre, so you have your hand up. Deirdre, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thanks, Anika. But I think it's being answered in the chat, because I was about to say partnerships really strengthen, engagement for students, and I wanted to know what community partnerships you have. But now you're getting a lot of partnerships away from the ones you already have. So, can you name a few of your partnerships besides? Christian Connor?
Yeah, we're not as close with the work because we're more fundraising focused. There's a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of there's a lot of formal partnerships with school districts. So like
Okay.
we will interact
Okay.
directly with superintendents and all that stuff and school officials to get recommended kids. A lot of our partnerships are with schools and school districts. And
Okay.
then yeah, there's slightly more anecdotal partnerships. Like we have a relationship with the Posse Foundation to get them scholarships, but that's not like a formal thing in writing. That's more just like they know that Liberty kids are talented and hardworking, and so if we recommend them, they're
That's
excited.
excellent, though. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Aussie scholars get great full ride. So,
Yeah.
thank
You want?
My quick question just is the alumni piece. You you've worked with alumni before, but not so focused. And I wanted to know, why did you feel the need to get more focused? And in other words, was there I don't want to say, was there, let's say, non-completion by alumni students and you felt like you could help? What do you know more about that?
There
I'm
was
glad you're doing it. I was just curious.
Christian could probably speak more to some of it. There was
Yeah,
COVID hitting definitely like shook some
yeah.
not the matriculation aspect of it, but like sometimes students staying all the way through completion. Um we definitely noticed there was some drop off in that, and that's what,
Oh
among
yeah.
other things, that's what led to like the anecdotal like, hey, like checking a process, and then more recently it led to more formalized as
Yeah.
we have alumni. We like a lot of Liberty go to Syracuse, a lot of Liberty alumni go to SUNY Binghamton. So it just was like there were kind of these anecdotal pockets of groups of people that we could check on. And we're like, there's like something we could do here, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what this was all born of.
And just to kind of like echo like the same sentiments that Connor had mentioned. I mean, I think that like just in looking at some of our data, like a drop off in some of the persistence rates, and then also I think just to kind of like think about like our students, there was like just a big sort of need and like a something that they had advocated for as far as like a more sort of like formalizing the service in a way that like really speaks to their needs and some of the things that they had wanted to see from the programming. And so this is what, was our answer for it. So
No, that's good. A couple of programs that we work with have talked about starting to be in touch more with their alumni. And I was just curious what the concession was, but I'm glad of it because a lot of, especially I think if you haven't had access to upper level work and how that environment is, it can be a little bit intimidating. And so a lot of our kids go with good grades and everything, but the A student in high school is not always the A student in college. So they need a little extra support. So that's good. That's fantastic. I'm really thrilled to hear that. Before I'm so sorry, guys. I have a puppy. She needs to bark at everything. So please try to ignore it. I'm so sorry. Does anyone else have any questions? I don't see any hands up. Help me out, you guys, because scrolling through the phone. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Next on the agenda, and Tina's still not here. That's okay. We'll get to Tina when she comes. So, Rose Success. I did see Junior online, I think. Hi, Junior. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Shanika, how are you?
Very good, very good. Did you want to share your screen?
I do.
All right.
Let me just do that.
Oh,
Can everybody see my screen?
yeah, Ebony told me you don't need permission. You were right, Ebony. Okay, Junior, when you start, I'll start the timer. Please be mindful. But yes, the floor is yours and happy to hear from you.
Thank you, Shanika. Hello, everyone. My name is Junior Manon. I'm Deputy Director of Workforce and Education Programs at Rose to Success. And at Rose to Success, our mission is to inspire and empower all young adults to take control of their future. Our belief is that kids nobody's ever too young to really think about their future and to start developing the skills and knowledge and be exposed to the opportunities that would allow them to be successful in their future. Therefore, we work with students K through 12 all throughout the city. We've been around for about 25 years. 2026 is actually our 25th anniversary. And we focus on three main areas: college and career pathways, youth employment, and leadership building. For the sake of timing, I'm going to share a little bit about our model in the first two. So, as I mentioned, our pathway program is focused on making sure that students have the knowledge, skills, and exposures that they need to be successful in their future, regardless of how old they are today, right? These are some of the areas that we focus on: career exploration, wellness, civic engagement, financial education and financial literacy, college and career planning, and and skills development across the board. Now I want to give you some examples of the work that we do in the pathway programs for you to get a sense of how our model looks like in practice. We have a partnership with New Design Middle School that is supported by the West Harlem Development Corporation. And there we work with 7th and 8th graders to expose them to college and career pathways. And how do we do that? Some of the ways that we do that is by bringing them to college trips. We take them into worksite tours. We organize career panels so they can hear from different professionals and start getting a sense about the different type of careers that are out there beyond what they know, which most likely is like going to a doctor and what their parents do and what they see on a day-to-day basis. And then finally, but not least, providing them with work-based learning opportunities. Some of the ways includes, for instance, we have a Success Summit, which is an annual conference for young adults between the ages of 16 and 24. And that is basically a day-long professional development conference for young adults, the same way that us will go to a conference and participating in breakout sessions and attend networking opportunities. We do the same for about 600 young adults in New York City, and that happens in July. Last year, it happens at St. Francis College, and it happens in July of every year. Another example of the way that we do in the Pathways program, for instance, is that we recently took about 40 young adults to Atlanta, Georgia for the InvestFest conference. And InvestFest is an investment conference that takes place in Atlanta. They have a lot of artists and a lot of celebrities. So it was great to have 40 kids from the Bronx, right? I stayed in a five-star hotel and participate in breakout session and see Steve Harvey and a lot of other people there. You know, just that exposure itself is beyond just connecting them to opportunities. It's really having them experience what that looked like and giving them a sense of belonging and really getting them to think of what is out there. So those are just some models in which we do our pathway programs. And then you're all very familiar with our summer youth employment program. Our summer youth employment program is a 6-week paid summer job for youth 14 to 24. And really, the premise of that is to connect young adults to job opportunities and give them an opportunity to develop work-based skills, develop work experience, bring money to their families. And I'm making a plug. We're still recruiting for young adults. Our deadline is February 27, 2026. So it is lottery-based, right? You just got to make sure that your participants choose Rose of Success as one of their providers. And we're also recruiting work sites. So it's not just for young adults. If you have a business or partners that want to host some of the young adults as interns, that's also something that we're looking for. I'm happy to ask questions, but I want to stick to my time. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Junior. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. And congratulations on just a continued expansion. Road to Success has been around a long time, and you guys keep pushing every year. So very nice to hear all the good work that you're doing in the community. Does anyone have any questions? Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Junior or for Road to Success? He said you're doing summer youth, right? So besides the other vendors you may work with, Junior, what can the young people do at Road Success over the summer? Briefly, you don't have to get into the.
Yeah, well, no, it depends, right? So we serve every summer. We serve around 1,300 young adults, right? We place
Wow.
1,300 young adults in job, in work sites throughout the city.
Okay.
Which means that we have a lot of sites. For us, it is important. We have a vetting process of assessing our sites to make sure that they have the conditions that are important for young adults to succeed. But again, we strive as much as possible to make sure that young adults are paired with, opportunities that they're interested in.
Yeah.
And making sure that the sites, we have an orientation forward size. As I mentioned, we have a various assessments. So it varies,
Nice.
and it's really based on what the young adults are interested in.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. I don't see any hands up in the list. So if I'm missing someone, please let me know. But all right. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate it. Nice to hear from you. Absolutely. Now I think Shanique is here from Arts in the Park. I saw you on earlier.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, Shanika.
Hi.
Nice to meet
Hi.
you.
Hi.
Hey, Jordan.
That's-
Hi, Jordan.
oh my
Um,
gosh. And so for everyone on the Zoom, my daughter worked at some capacity with Shanique today via her school as
yes.
an intern. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Was
So
she
she's going to be,
helpful?
yes, she was very helpful. We are promoting,
Um,
I do have to share
okay.
really quickly. We
Yes.
are promoting our Black History Month celebration, which is going to be next Wednesday at East Harlem Partnership on 111th Street. So they were canvassing today. They did some mapping and canvassing, and they'll be working on it on Thursday. And yeah, so she was like, my mom is with CV9. So that was wonderful. So she's been wonderful. Yeah, but
Good.
I am presenting. Can I share
Yes.
my
Okay.
screen?
Absolutely. I think you can do it without me doing anything.
Okay, yep, perfect. So
All
really
right.
quickly, good evening, everyone. Oh, can you see? Hold on. What happened? Oh, wait. Present. Let me go here. Oh, that should have been cute. I'm sorry. Hold on. My screen is paused. Okay, my computer has been acting a little crazy.
You may have
Okay,
to
there
stop
it
sharing and try again.
is.
Okay.
It's really slow. I don't know what's been going on. I had some issues with it
Mhm.
earlier on another call, so I do apologize.
Okay. We want to hear from you.
Running
So
really, really slow. Okay, so let me see. Can you all see that?
for me, it just says that you started screen sharing, but I don't have anything yet.
Yeah, no.
Um, okay, let's see. Hold on.
Yes, we can see.
You can see
Something's
now.
coming up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my computer's been acting really wonky, so I apologize. So I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. But good evening, everyone. My name is Shanique Woolfolk. I am the founder and CEO of Art in the Park, which is a nonprofit organization that is based here in Harlem. We are grantees for the West Harlem Development Corporation grant for 2025. Let me see if I can move over. Okay. So once again, thank you. So We are a nonprofit organization, once again, here in Harlem that activates open spaces and under-resourced Harlem communities to expose youth to arts, culture, STEAM, health, and community initiatives. And we create safe spaces through art programming. So today we're presenting because we will be hosting a free workshop with 2 cohorts for youth that are 10 to 15 years old and another cohort where youth can be 16 and up, including adults. These workshops, once again, will be free and they will provide an overview on how to use your cell phone to capture professional grade pictures. This is our 2nd year hosting this workshop through the grant and Columbia University, the Zuckerman Institute. So we are super excited about the opportunity to work again with youth from CB9 area, Manhattanville area, and from all over, and in addition to working with adults. So once again, the workshop will be taking place Saturday starting in March for 90 minutes, and it will alternate between cohort 1, which is the younger youth, and then cohort 2, which would be the 16 and up. I'm just gonna go ahead and show a quick little video of the last cohort that we did. I hope it plays. So once again, thank you for your time this evening. We will by next week have a flyer with the QR code to sign up and register for the classes. We do have about 30 slots per cohort. It is first come, first serve, and there may be a wait list. And we are in talks with Columbia University to also provide a competition type of stipend towards the end, because we do want everyone that comes to participate to finish the actual workshop. So thank you so much to CB9, Columbia University, and West Harlem Development Corporation.
All right, fantastic. You really kept the time too.
Oh, sorry
And you know,
about that.
Shanique, no, you did. I'm saying you did a great job. I already have the flyer actually, because my daughter sent it to me and said, make sure this gets out to the community board. So I'm gonna make sure it does as well. Send us when you get your other flyers for the workshop. Please send it to us so that we can send those out as well. Okay.
Excellent presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Just looking to see if there's any questions in the chat for Shanique. And you have your event coming up when now? This next Saturday? I have the flyer, mind you. Shanique? Oh, maybe she signed off. All right.
She's
All
still
right, no
there. I think she
worries.
was just talking. She was showing.
No, I told you my computer is
That's
not
right. That's
working, so
right.
I apologize.
That's okay.
But it is on the 18th. I'm sorry, it's on the 18th next week from 2 to 5. That's the flyer that you have. And then the workshop is going to be Saturday starting about 12:30 to 2 on through March and April, with opportunities to work with Manhattanville Day as well and take pictures, and like I said,
Fantastic.
we'll have 2 cohorts.
All right, fantastic. Okay. I am going, I need to adjust the agenda just a touch. Jayra, is Jayra here from Little School?
Jaya?
Okay.
Jaya?
Wait, tell me, Deirdre.
It's Jaya? Is it Jaya or Jaya? I don't see her.
Perhaps, but I don't see her. Okay.
Let me see.
Um,
I don't see her.
Okay, in the interim, really quickly, Lillian, I know I didn't, I apologize, but I'd like to get you on to present now. And then I have another presenter we're going to add at the end as well. But we're making good time, guys. So thank you very much for working with us and working together on this. Lillian, did you need, oh, you don't need co-host permissions.
Yeah,
If you need to share your
I'm good.
screen.
I can go. I can go.
Okay, yes, please,
Awesome.
the floor is yours. All right.
All right.
Hi.
Can everyone see a transformative journey?
Yes.
Great. So thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Lillian Alonso. I'm Executive Director of Artistic Dreams International. We have been going on strong for 15 years now. We're going to be 15 this year, so we're very happy and celebratory, even as things change in the way they are in the present in our country. We hold a 6-pillar curriculum, and we guide our students through a journey of personal growth. And this expands from the inside of the student to the outer world of the student. We work with public schools, children's homes also in Mexico, not just New York City. In New York City, we're at public schools, public libraries, and youth organizations. And our mission is to nurture youth to become creative world citizens who can transform their lives and their communities through the arts, and specifically through the visual arts. And right now we're expanding our footprint. We've been working in the US, but also Mexico, in the states of Sonora, Puebla, Mexico City, and Chiapas. But we are grantees of WHDC, and they've funded us for our great work that we do in New York City. Right now we work in 20 locations across Harlem and West Harlem. And our next goal is a great goal to build 50 programs across the US and another 50 in Mexico. A lot of those are going to be focused in New York. Our approach to arts education is to go through an inner journey within the child and then with outer impact. And remember, we work with children from K to 12, so this begins at all levels. This is the most important slide that I'd like to show you. If there's anything you remember about us, this would be it. This is the journey that students take when they work with us. So our first curricular pillar is art and self-love, because this is what we all need, right? No matter what age we are, but primarily in your youth. If you are belonging to a family that does not hold stability, then perhaps you need to learn how to love yourself. And we build that through our first curricular pillar, art and self-love. Then we go to art and mindfulness, where the student learns how to develop focus, presence, and also emotional resilience. We do this by teaching them mindfulness and just really relaxation exercises to diminish anxiety. And don't we all need that? So our students have that tool from elementary school. Then we go to art and empowerment, where a student will learn to cultivate their voice. And the mission for this part of the curriculum is for every student to create their mission and vision for their life, starting then, whenever they take this, be it elementary, middle, or high school, to have a mission and a vision for your life early on, so that you have a guide, is something to aim for early in your life. And definitely linked to who you are, not based on expectation, but linked to who you truly are inside. This is why we work on number 1 and 2 first. Then we go to art and identity. This is where our people, our students, feel proud, finally proud of their culture and heritage that we all are such in dire need of now, currently in our country. to become proud once again of who we are, and to be proud to walk around being who you are or where you come from, and hold it boldly and loudly. And so we articulate our false beliefs. I say false beliefs because sometimes we think, you know, I'm Hispanic. I was born with a connotation of Hispanic being inferior. Okay, let me write down all my negative beliefs about myself. And then in class, we transform those beliefs into positive beliefs, but not just to repeat them out loud. We also have mentors and just examples of people that we can look up to that can show us the beauty of our heritage. We also look at our cultural heritage through art and history. Then we go to art and world cultures, where we finally look outside. We go out of the inner self and look at the world, and we look at curiosity through world building, curiosity through global cultures. We look at art from all over the world and make art from all over the world. And what I haven't mentioned is that all our curricular pillars hold art at their core. So we're always making art about these subjects during every class along the school year. And then the final pillar is art and civic engagement that I was mentioning earlier, where we foster leadership and community transformation through engaging with our community. So students go out there, they create murals. Sometimes they create other community projects, but we mainly focus on murals because we're artists and we like to do what we do best. And we carry community messages and carry them again loudly and boldly in all full color through art and civic engagement. I have more to show, but I'll go quickly so you can see some of our work. Just the pictures, art and identity. These are our kids in Mexico and New York City. We also hold cultural exchange programs, and we've done them with Morocco, New York, and Mexico. This is a child in fifth grade at PS 36 in Harlem, and this is a community mural on the right. So that's who we are. And now I just want to show you our impact. So we're 15 years old now. Through our program, we also grow our students' growth mindset. We've proven to go from 52% growth mindset to 83% in over 3 years. And we've reached over now 7,000 children with over 7,000 hours of free instruction. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is that this year we went through a 10-year longitudinal study that showed that our program gets kids to finish school. So we did this study where all of our kids, even if they had no access to high school, would actually finish middle school with our program, finish high school with our program, and access college for the first time in their family's life through our program when there were no other variables present. So we're very proud of that. And if anyone is interested in learning more about us, please email me. I'll write down my email on the chat once again. And thank you so much.
All right, wonderful, Lillian. I like the pillars a lot. I took a screenshot of that. I have it's recording anyway, but that I'm gonna keep for myself. I really like that. So thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, that was very powerful. Art in every section of life, so that you really are not going through anything alone. There's art there to support you and carry you through, and being creative is part of that healing process for whatever it is. I love it. I love it. I'm very excited. All right.
That's
Does
right.
anyone have any questions? Absolutely. Does anyone have any questions for Lillian? I'm looking in the chat, guys. I do see some emoticons flying around, so that's good. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Now, I don't see, am I saying it incorrectly? Jaya? Misra? I know Jaya, but I don't see her at all in the. All right, I just want to make sure I'm not missing that. Okay.
I don't see hers yet either.
Okay. All right, good. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I'm not skipping over anyone unnecessarily, accidentally. Let's go to tag and TCIONY, Janet Cohen, and all the tag people in the chat. It's y'all time. Stand up. Who would like to present? Let me know.
Hello, I'm actually here
Hi.
to present tag while Miss
All
Janet
right.
shares screen.
All right, fantastic. Hi, Joshua.
So,
Nice to meet you.
hello, nice to meet you. So, while Miss Janet, yes, sharing her screen. Okay, so while she shares her presentation, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Joshua. I'm an intern at Tag, and I just wanted to just give a brief about the definition behind tag and what we do in the organization. So basically, as a starter, tag stands for Teaching a Generation, and it is run by the Community Initiatives of New York. And tag is not just a youth organization. I know if you've heard of tag, it's mostly just like news that it's being run by the youth, not run by the youth, but it's for the youth. But it's not just for the youth. It's a program that is challenging the narrative for young people and giving a youth opportunities, a leadership, and a voice. TAG gives the youth opportunities to grow, to become leaders, be important in spaces where youth can be heard. Our leaders, Rev and Janet Cohen, just got done with professional development training New York City SAPIS, which is the Substance Abuse Prevention Intervention Specialists. And they've been just spreading opportunities, experience just for the youth all over the city. We also have a Tag swag store, which makes merch based off of Tag in general. We have Jesus merch. It's run fully youth run operated. It's the first youth run operated retail store. Um, we also have the living room, which you will see photos of this in the slideshow. In the Tag Center, which is where we talk about a lot of generational topics like policing, um, learning how to speak for yourself. We also have a lot of people coming in the living room, important people like Yusuf Salam coming to speak for our tag nights and, share to the youth about their experiences. Just in moral of the story, just tag is basically, it's just a generation. I mean, it's a generational help. It's an organization that helps all of us. We all share, we all learn from each other, and it's a wonderful way to bring the generation, old and young, together as a whole. We have events that one of our admins shared in the chat. We have this Friday we have the Harlem Bomb Shelter coming to just teach us how to write poems, how to have literacy, share some of their poems out. And we also have a bingo night for the seniors and the youth to come together and interact with each other. We also have a game night that's 2 weeks from now. We have a Black Month Trivia Night, Embrace Your Season of Love. We have a lot of events coming, excuse me, for this month, and a lot of them are free. I mean, most of them are free. You could just come in, do the waiver, sign in, get a tour, and be a part of us. Enjoy the events. It's free for anyone from 12 to 24. Personally, before I joined Tag, I was very shy, nervous, wasn't willing to speak in front of people. But once I became an intern and actually played a part in Tag, we've done a lot of um, icebreakers, we've done a lot of workshops that really helped me and a lot of the people who work with me in Tag learn how to have a bigger voice, learn how to speak properly, and just give ourselves experience for the future that will really help when we're going to college, um, and getting a job eventually in the future. Um, but I will be ending it out now. We have a lot of flyers sent in the chat, and I will also paste our contact information. You can visit our website for more information. this is the location of our tag center. We also have the location for our flag store. And yeah, if you have any questions, we have a lot of people in the Zoom that will answer your questions happily. Thank you.
Thank you for that fantastic presentation, Joshua. I do have questions, of course. Y'all know I have questions. I want to know the ages of the youth in general, or what ages do you serve? And do you all meet every week, even without an event? Or do you meet
Yes.
several times a week?
Yes.
Okay.
So our ages run between 12 and 24 typically, but
Wow.
everybody's welcome. Everyone's welcome.
Nice.
Yeah,
You
I
can
would like
walk
to just
in any
add to
day.
that. Thank you, Joshua. That's an excellent job. So proud of you. Yeah, so our tag program traditionally for our youth is 14 to 24. With the new tag
That's so
center
good.
that we have, we've been doing a lot more with the tweens and the little babies, as well as with parents
Mhm.
and adults. So we've really had the ability to expand some of the programming, and also being a community hub, really looking to create and further deepen those relationships so we can service and meet more families. So for my organizations, my fellow organizations that are out here, some I know are in the park and some I'm just becoming familiar with, please reach out to us. We're really looking to deepen some of those partnerships, both in the West Harlem, Central Harlem, and service entire families. We just started a girls group on hygiene. We are starting one-on-one mentoring with a social work intern from, Columbia. So really looking to expand.
That's fantastic. And I wanted to know, do you guys meet several times a week?
Yeah, so the center is open Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And that is every day, weather permitted, of course. Lately, it's we've been
Horrible.
snowed
Yeah.
in, but we're closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
And you'll find young people there from just the neighborhood. You'll find our tag ambassadors. You'll find our interns. And even seniors love to pop in and just sit in the living room. It's something you have to experience it. So we encourage you all to come experience the living room.
That's fantastic because there's not a lot of places for young people to be. There's no like the rec centers are not really rec centers anymore. Even like the one Hansborough is closed
Yeah.
for renovation, and then Jackie Robinson is limited. And so the library, of course, they've gotten stricter because they've had to.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unfortunately, a few bad apples make it bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you can't smoke in the library, guys. But I know the problem is that there's not enough places for
Hmm.
kids to be. And
Yeah.
so that's really fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
really
good
good.
that
Keep
they
up the
can
good
come as
work.
they are. We have a full
Yes.
kitchen, so
Yes.
we do provide meals for them. We have a game room with a pool table and darts and PlayStation. One of the young people brought their own PlayStations
Nice.
the other day to really engage. So we have an arcade machine. We have a workout center, like a gym portion
That's
for
really
them.
cool.
So really meeting
Okay.
them where they are, and there's no, like Joshua said, they come, they sign a waiver, and they're welcome. So there's no
That's fantastic.
stipulations. They do have to follow house rules now, and we
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
pretty,
Yeah, yeah.
but
As
for
they
some
should,
of
yeah.
our young people, we're teaching them what house rules actually means and how to follow it. So it's still a life skill.
Yeah, it is. It is. You have to learn how to follow house rules wherever you go. So might as well start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
All
I
right,
just
keep
want
up
to
the good
say,
work.
yeah,
Yes, go ahead, Tita. I'm
thanks,
sorry.
Shanika. And I just want to say, Joshua, Janet, thank you all. And one of the things that I noticed, because I've stopped by, not the living room yet, but prior to your new space, that the kids, that teens, they're often even on the outside, right? And they have this warm welcoming, and you get a sense of belonging, no matter if it's the first time you've been there or, naturally.
Mhm.
So I just wanted
That's
to say thank
amazing.
you for your programming. They participate. They reach out to community. The last time they actually were in person with us, right, at the community board at CB9. So thank you, Janet, for your continued work and for all our taggers.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. Marie is here from St. John Divine and ACT. And then Marie, after you, we'll do Behind the Book. And then we'll catch up on any missing people. So guys, thank you again for your patience. Marie, are you ready to present? You've been
I
waiting patiently. I
am.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you, everyone. Jatna,
Okay.
am I saying your name correctly, Miss Ramirez? Thank you for your patience as well. Thank you for messaging me. My apologies. So, all right, we're coming on.
Alrighty.
We're doing it. Okay. Thank you, guys.
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
mute. Marie, take it away.
All right, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
Great to
nice
hear
to see you.
everyone. I love sitting in these meetings and hearing all the great stuff that's going on. I'm going to share my screen. Don't know why it's not. There you go. So ACT has been around for 55 years. We're located in Manhattan at the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine. We are a children's program from tots to teens. And we offer a variety of programs. Some people would say, are we cathedral school? And we say no. We offer all the programs that schools are unable to sometimes provide, which is like summer camp, after school, Saturday events, and programs like that. So I have a question. If you know the answer, unmute yourself and scream it out. The riddle is, I'm small in the soil, but big in the sun. With water and sunlight, I reach up high. Children and adults tend to me. What am I?
Seed?
Unmute
A
yourself.
flower.
Excellent. We got a flower.
A
Go ahead.
seed?
A
Plant.
seed. Excellent.
Oh,
Yay.
I said
Yeah, I hear you, Carter.
That was me.
A
I thought you were
tree,
trying to
that's a
trick
good
me.
one.
I thought it was a trick.
Yeah,
no.
I like that. Thank you for the riddle, Marie. That
You're
was very
welcome. So the reason I started out with the riddle is because we started out our riddles in the after school, and what we were really looking for is to see if we were meeting our mission of children working together for the answer, number one. Number two, how are they going to find the answer if they had no technology? And what we discovered is because they're not allowed to have phones, now it becomes the watches. And so it's something we're addressing with the parents and the children. We know, even for ourselves as adults, that when we're looking for an answer to something, we go straight to the computer and look it up, which is really important. But what ACT is doing for the last 55 years is really providing a social, educational, and recreational year-round programs. Children from 3 to 15 really enjoy being outside and using the grounds of the world's largest Gothic cathedral. And we have inside, we have 2 full gyms, 6 classrooms, and a snack room. But we also pride ourselves in a non-technology programs. And this gives the balance of what children are experiencing today, which is really important: technology, AI, computers. The reality is all of us today would not be here meeting on Zoom if it wasn't for someone thinking of how to all Zoom together. So technology is important to our lives. However, we want to balance that at ACT by teaching the children other avenues without technology. So our children learn to be ambassadors of nature. They are led in our garden, on the grounds of the cathedral, for leadership, eco-friendly habits. They help the gardener. This whole snow that we're having and ice, the children have gone out with their shovels and to make the paths clearer and to help the facilities staff here who have been working around the clock clearing the snow, so they help them also. We've trained our staff to lead non-technology activities because we find that our staff also can't put away their phone. Oops, you know what? I forgot to put my stopwatch. I hope you guys are timing me. And they do it through the arts, the sports team, building games, performing arts. The only technology we actually have in the gym is a Wii console, but we only do Wii Dance because even though there's 4 sticks, We have photos of all the kids jumping in to do the we dance, just to keep them moving, especially in the winter. We lead traditional non-technology activities, which supports emotional growth, opportunity to be expressive. They learn social skills, and then they engage with others. And more importantly than anything else, we teach the children to make eye contact when they're talking. So that's why we like to play jump rope, gaga, 9 square. We do performances, not for our parents. Kids love to put on performances. They love to put on a little play. But the minute you say that it's for family night, they clam up. So we do a lot of those kinds of events just so that they can learn to have stage presence. We connect with the community, which is for them to look outside themselves and outside the world of school, and then after school, and then home, all these three. So we are next to, I wrote St. Luke's, but it's really Mount Sinai. We're next to Mount Sinai. We're next door to a senior home, Amsterdam House. Cathedral Church also has a soup kitchen. So we teach the kids to do a lot of activities for others, not just for themselves. They make cards for Sunday food bags, and they make happy birthday banners for other cathedral employees that are not part of ACT, so that they know that they're part of the community also. We have outstanding employees. And why? Because some of them came from Roads to Success. Thank you, Roads to Success. But it's a home away from home, and that's what our motto has been from the very beginning. The reality is that in the 60s and 70s, when you got out of school, you went straight home. If you ask some adults or children from the islands, and you say, where do you go to after school? They say, right to the beach. So the longevity of this program is that I've been here for 36 years. I have a teacher who's been here 26 years. I have an admin director who's been with us 20 years as a camper, group leader, leader in training, then a group leader, then she was an assistant teacher, then she was a coordinator, and now she's my left hand. We have a school age coordinator who's been here 17 years. She started out as a group leader, then an assistant teacher, saw how busy I was, and now she runs all our school age programs here. And that's my right hand. And on the right part of the screen, you'll see the ABCs of group management. One of the things that I lead in a lot of workshops with my staff and the parents is the ABCs of group management. We have absolutely no time out in programs, and when we hire new staff members, it's difficult for them to say, if you keep doing that, I'm going to give you time out. We really try to describe the behavior and to anticipate when that behavior is about to happen and what consequence is the best consequence to help the child understand how to manage that behavior. And that's all about the social emotional component. Thanks to the City Community Board 9 and the West Harlem Development Corporation and Jose V. Torres, who was one of our founders who passed away, that's why we're here today. But more importantly, I screamed out, I gave a shout out to Roads to Success because this is the platform I discovered them, and we have been using them for not only the summer youth employees, but also the Work, Learn, and Grow program. But let's collaborate and network. I've been taking a lot of notes. I wrote 4 programs I want to get in touch with. I see that last year, CB9 funded, and West Harlem Development Corporation funded 102 programs, and 47 of them are about youth. Whoops, there you go, I'm over the time. And are for youth. So I want to share resources with you guys. And what I do is I take those flyers that you just posted, I look at your websites, and I send these to all my families on our platform. And I can't wait to hear from Behind the Books, because one of the things we're finding this year for the first time is that children are craving reading books. Even though those are those comic books and illustration books, some of them are already going into chapter books. And lo and behold, we have so many books here because everybody donated it to us during COVID when they left. And my name is Marie Del Tejo, the ACT program, Cathedral St. John. And you're free to, I would love to come to you if you have young people that you're training to work with other children and lead any kind of workshops you want. And that's the end.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, Marie. Wonderful to
You're
hear from you as
welcome.
well. I don't know if you can see everybody's sending you applause.
Oh,
Applause, because no, really, it's great. And then I think did I see someone's hand up?
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, if I'm
yeah.
missing it.
You're
Okay.
not
Yes,
seeing my
please.
hand? Oh,
Yes, and
I just
Monique
want,
too. I see. Okay.
oh, I'm sorry. Well, let Monique go first then.
No, Lydia, go ahead.
No, I
Please.
just want to say how wonderful this is to hear the emphasis on technology, because what I'm hearing and reading right now, if from primary school teachers, grade school teachers, is that a lot of these kids are just not learning effectively anymore. If you notice, some of these big tech bros, a lot of them will not let their children get on this technology before they're 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, because they realize that they're just not learning effectively. So I think that's absolutely critical what you're doing. Quite frankly, I've been in software development as well as the theater, and I've often felt a trained monkey could learn to use a computer even at a ripe old age of 40. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't, I'm so happy to hear this. I think it's so critical, and I think that it's not emphasized enough that you get them off these gadgets, and the idea that they're looking in each other's eyes, they're conversing. This is the humanity that we must develop and embrace, especially in a time that we're living in right now. I had to say that.
thank you.
Chair, if I may add
Monique? Yes.
on to what Lydia said, my only other comment was it really filled my heart to hear that your children still want to pick up an actual book and read. I was the former director of a pediatric early literacy program, and we
Wow.
focus on children ages 0 to 5 before starting school. And the book can do a great deal, a simple book. And so to hear that kids want to actually pick up a book, it really makes me smile. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, thank
I
you,
feel the
Marie.
same way. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, fantastic. Marie, always good to hear from you and fantastic to see you as usual. Let us know if we can help in any way. And of course, we're happy to spread the word about anything you're doing. When summer camp opens up, send us the flyers. We'll get them out as well.
Thank
All
you.
right. I have a couple people online that say behind the book, Myra and Miss Ramirez. Please, thank you for your patience. Feel free to begin presenting whomever would like to take the floor.
Yeah, welcome. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Myra Hernandez, and I'm joined with our Director of Programs at Behind the Book, Jatna Ramirez. So Jatna might be joining in the conversation. I'm going to share my screen. And so if you all can let me know, oh, that's my whole screen. I don't think I want to share that. I'll try that again. I think this is what I want to share. No, tampoco. Let me do this another way. Apologies. It's always the technical difficulties, right?
It's
Okay.
exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets to me. All right, so let's do this. And
I was about to say if you wanted me to try. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. So once again, my name is Myra Hernandez, and I am the Senior Program Coordinator at Behind the Book. A little bit about Behind the Book. Behind the Book is an organization. Can you see this without my speaker notes? Okay, good. Thank you. Because I see my speaker notes and you don't need to see that. Behind the Book has been around since 2003. So we are celebrating 23 years of being a literacy nonprofit here in Western Harlem. Our offices are on 135th. We work in Title I DOE public schools all throughout the city, with the exception of Staten Island. And our organization really believes and builds on the work of children literature scholar Rudine Sims Bishop, who famously coined the term that books serve to be either a mirror or a window. And what that means is that a good book can serve as a window to an unfamiliar world or a mirror to ourself, or even both. And we strongly believe that if we are turned off by books, it's because we haven't found the right one, or our story needs to be told, and we need to find the book that tells our story or leads us to be more curious about cultures and places outside of our own. So we try to inspire young people to cultivate that vast potential through these programs that are centered around a book. And so another thing that really speaks to the work that we do is Behind the Book focuses on a lot of books that look like the youth that we serve. And unfortunately, because of the climate of this country at the present time, and historically, a lot of those books are under attack. And so we also focus on developing programs around a book that is authored by a diverse author, and we bring those books into schools. The kids get to choose the books that they choose for their Behind the Book program. And we have a conversation about what are the books that we focus on and what do they notice? And a lot of kids will say that they notice that a lot of the faces peering back on the cover of these books are Black and brown. And so we have a conversation about why are these books banned and what do we have a role in fighting back against that censorship and erasure.
Myra, I'm gonna start sharing my screen because I think your slides has stopped on slide 1.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're in this together.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Teamwork.
So I'm gonna stop sharing and then you're gonna share?
Yeah, I'm already sharing.
Okay. So that works out real good, but I don't think I see it on. Does everybody see Jatna's?
Yes. Am I looking at a collection of books?
Yes.
Book covers? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if we can go to the next slide. So our story in numbers, as you can see here Behind the Book, since it has opened in 2003, we've worked in over 1,000 classrooms. We've served over 25,000 students in schools throughout the city, and we give away books to the community. And a lot of the books, and most of the books we give away, are books that look like us, that are Black and brown characters, Black and brown stories, that are also authored by diverse authors. And so we've given over 120,000 of those books to the community for free. So we encourage you to come by and stop by our headquarters and get a book. What do we do? So at Behind the Book, every student receives a new copy of the book that they chose. So we really want to build agency where kids get a choice of what they want their Behind the Book program to center on. And so we start by sharing 3 books and they vote on the top book. And then as program coordinators, we go and we build out a program with the collaboration of the author and the teacher and the students. Also, through Behind the Book, every student will get to keep a copy of that book, so they become a book owner and they get to build up their library. We will bring in over 8 to 16 sessions, so we stay with these kids for months. We build out workshops where we bring in the author, and the author will get to speak to a classroom and share why they wrote this book and why their story matters. We also will build out art and writing workshops where we bring in coaches. These are volunteers for the community. So I'm going to drop in our email. So if you ever want to volunteer, and I'm looking at you, Tag Youth, it'd be great for you to be in the classroom and help kids, support them in their artistic and writing journey. We also build out field trips and special speakers. We work with recently a member of the Matinacock Nation here in Long Island who spoke to the importance of indigenous practices of protecting our earth. And so I'm thinking about what I just heard from Marie. And then we also really want to make meaningful connections and build community through our programs. Where we work and who we do it with, we work throughout 4 of the boroughs with the exception of Staten Island, and we work in public schools with community board orgs. And we've also, this year, I'm really excited that Jatna has really pushed for us to work in youth detention centers. We bring in authors and books to kids that are also deserve to see their lives reflected. And also OML, which stands for the Department of Education's Office for Multilingual Learners and Libraries. Wanted to just share real briefly. I don't know, can somebody do a time check for me? I'm sorry, I got a little flustered with whatever in the beginning.
I've got about a minute left.
Okay, so we are working in the Community Board 9 with a wonderful school that we've had a long-term relationship with, which is PS 125. And thank you so much to the generous funding of the West Harlem Development Corp. We have been able just this year to work with all of the 3rd grade, the 5th grade, and we will be working in spring with kinder through 4th. So we have a large reach right here in our community. And once again, we're working on those stories and amplifying banned books, but also books that represent us. So the 3rd grade is working on the Harlem Renaissance, and we talk about how Harlem Renaissance artists wanted to fight back and push against the racist stereotypes of Black folk. And so how does the Harlem Renaissance celebrate Black identity and community? We also working on Shirley Chisholm. So I heard what you said, Lydia. And how does working for justice sometimes mean that we have to care about more than one issue? So these are inquiry-based programs. For the Harlem Renaissance, just last week, they got to meet with the author, who is a children's lit professor who focuses on Black books. She talks about the meaning, importance of representation. And we also did research workshops on the 5th grade, where we looked at all the different initiatives and work that Shirley Chisholm did in order to think about when we want to make change, sometimes we have to get involved and build community and coalition. We also did field trips recently, went to the Museum of the City of New York for our Harlem Renaissance. Is an example of how we work with our cultural institutions to build a deeper understanding. Kids got to see the exhibit Stomp and discover how New Yorkers have used dance and music to build community, joy, and other forms of resistance. Our art workshops are also tied to a book. Here are some examples of them. And many of our books will actually many of our programs will culminate where the students become authors themselves. We take the writing that you just saw, an example, the reading and the writing and their art, and then they will create a student book where every single child's book work will be published, and it will live in their school library and our library at our headquarters. And they can share a link to family because many of us have family all around the world. So they become published authors themselves. And I'll leave you all with this quote from a 5th grader at PS 197 here in Harlem, just to let you know about our impact. And really excited to hopefully have you want to volunteer. And there's our info at Behind the Book if you're ever interested in volunteering. And I hope to see you all in our classrooms volunteering one day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I didn't realize that you did so much at Behind the Book. I've heard from you before, but I feel like you've expanded your program, or I just heard it again for the first time. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for our wonderful team? By the way, really nice assist there. Really great teamwork. I'm proud. I'm proud of you guys because it can be a little daunting with the Zoom and with the logging in and getting the share screen up. So good job. Trust me, we see it all the time.
Just one more note and resource to the community regarding Behind the
Yes.
Book. Every fall, we hold a book bash where we give away
Oh.
free books to the community. So you don't have to be in a participating school to be part of it. We literally set up tables outside of our main office on 135th, and kids can pick up as many books as they want. This year we gave over 5,000 books. And you know, we, like Myra said, we're very careful about curating a catalog of books with diverse authors and diverse stories. And so they're good quality books, they're brand new. And so that's an additional resources that we provide for the community every fall.
Do you usually put out like flyers before the event?
We do. So the event
Okay.
itself is called Book Bash. but we'll be sure to send something out to this mail list when we are ready to
Please.
start planning for the next one.
Yes, please. That's so cool. And we'll share with our community as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for Behind the Book? All right. I'm looking, just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it very much. We are really about done with our agenda unless we have Jaya available or Tina. But I don't see either. Deirdre, do you have any take on that? All right, Deirdre might not be on either. All right. All right, fantastic. Now I know that someone in the chat wanted to talk about something else. Give me a second. Sorry, guys, I'm just going through the chat really quickly. Oh, and I wrote it in chat, but please, if you have forms that need to be signed for WHTC, please send them as soon as possible because, we don't. Deirdre and I both work full time outside of CB9, whereas I realize this is what you do full time, and respectfully, I understand that. But we have, and Deirdre definitely, she's like work from out of the office, so we're not always in front of the computer. A lot of times, if you send it to us tomorrow or sometime this week, we can try to get back to you sooner. Once it hits into next week and stuff, that starts getting buried behind other things. No, not to be irresponsible. It's our responsibility as well to make sure these things are signed, but just a little tip so that we can try to work together well. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So send them tonight if you want. Let me put the email in the chat just in case anyone doesn't have it. All right. And okay, good. I don't see what I was looking for. Someone wanted to discuss about being an intern at the DOH. We did arts. I don't know if Niles is still on. All right. No problem. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call the meeting to close.
Oh,
Do I
I'm
have
sorry,
any other quick
Oh,
announcements?
yeah.
Shanika, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, Deirdre had asked me to jump on, and I wanted to make a quick announcement.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Monique Harding Cordero. I'm the first vice chair for Community Board 9. It's nice to see all of you and to hear about your wonderful programming. Very quickly, I wanted to just make sure I share with you that the Office of Cannabis Management here in the state provides community grant opportunities. It's coming from their community reinvestment um funding, for lack of a better word. This is funding that comes from taxes from legal cannabis dispensaries. And the goal is to have the money go back into those communities that were harmed by the over policing around cannabis use. And so the funding can range from I believe from 25,000 and up to a substantial amount. And the reason I'm on today is I wanted to inform those in our community. I'm sorry. Hello?
No, continue, Monique, please.
I wanted to inform those in our community, our community-based organizations, that there's going to be a training session that I believe will be virtual, scheduled on February 25th at 2 p.m.
If anyone is not muted, give me a second, Monique. Can everyone please mute themselves?
Bless you, Chaplain. Before you close, Chaplain Dana, quickly, go ahead. I see your hand. Yes,
Hello? That sounds like Coach. Coach, can you mute, please?
Oh, no. Actually, that was me. I'm so sorry. But Shanika, before, I apologize. I didn't realize I was unmuted. He's a coach. But
Yeah,
I wanted
but
to,
Monique wasn't finished.
I apologize. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Vice Chair.
no, that's okay.
No,
Yes.
yeah, I just wanted, the reason I'm jumping onto this call is that the funding is supposed to go to organizations that service youth and young adults. And some of the areas that they want the organizations to focus on are areas of workforce development, housing, and there were a few other key areas, which I'm sorry, it just went out of my head and I was trying to pull it up before getting on the call. But what I will do is share the link. I don't have it with have it to drop into the chat. What I will do is grab it, share it with Deirdre and Shanika so that they can share it with all of you. And I would encourage you, if you have time, to please jump on this virtual session to learn more about this grant opportunity, because it could support much of the wonderful work that I've heard so far, and we want that work to continue happening and it reach as many youth in our CB as possible. So those were my brief comments, and thank you for permitting me to just make that quick announcement.
Of course, Vice Chair. Thank you for seeing us and having that information available for community partners. That's very good. I didn't know those grants were quite
I'm right
so
here.
high.
Come
That's
in
very
and just
nice.
give me 1 second. Come in.
Yes.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
sorry, Shanika, before you close, thank you so
Yes,
much
yes, yes.
for hosting. Thank you, Vice Chair. I don't have the flyer, but I just want to bring the date out, and I was hoping co-chair for the Arts and Culture Committee, Ms. Tina Lumley would be on. On May 16th, the subcommittee, the youth subcommittee of the Arts and Culture Committee will be hosting a youth showcase, a youth performance showcase. It'll be held at Riverbank State Park from I think 7 to 8:30. I will send the
Oh,
information when I have it, but we are asking any youth organizations that are on here that they whether it be poetry, music, any form of art that you would like to showcase. I'll make sure that I get the flyer out to all who are in attendance this evening. We would love for you to come out and participate as well as support this art showcase, youth art showcase. So for taggers, for anyone that has any performance skills or, whatever it may be, spoken word, you are welcome. Okay. Thanks, Shanika. And thanks, everyone.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Deirdre. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us and asking questions. By the way, Denise, I see you. Hello. Nice to see you.
Thank
It's a
you.
lot of hi, a lot of community partners in
Hi.
here.
All right.
Wonderful to
Thank
see
you all.
everyone.
Have a wonderful
Yes.
evening.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good night.
Good
All
night.
right. Good night. Good night, Francina. Good night. Good night, team. Good
Good
night,
night, everyone.
All right.
All
Good
right.
night. Thank you.
Send me your forms. Good night.
Good night. Yep. Please drop them in our email.
All right. I'm ending the meeting.